Hey guys, welcome to linguamarina and welcome to a new class. I just love filming in the studio because I can put on different outfits and then I can adjust the light on that wall based on my outfit because it has different colors. And I'm this I can't call myself a geek, but I really like playing with different devices. So I hope you're enjoying this too. I hope you're watching these videos regularly so you're able to notice the differences in my studio. By the way, before we get into the topic, quick question for you guys. Would you like to see some vlogs from Silicon Valley, or you'd rather stick to the classes? Because I know vlogs can be really distracting in terms of like, when I'm showing you around, you might not remember what I was talking about because you're focused on the visual. In the format, when I sit down in the studio, you can focus on what actually is going on in the class. So let me know in comments down below. Would you want to see some vlogs, or would you rather have me stay in the studio? Okay, today we're gonna talk about replacing a phrase, for example, in your vocabulary, because this is another phrase that we use all the time. For example. I remember I heard for instance for the first time when I was back at school, and I was like, well, for instance doesn't sound very natural just because I heard it for the first time. And then I just started to realize that people use it more and more often than I expected. So the first phrase that you can use to replace for example is for instance. Basically has absolutely the same meaning as for example. An example of using for instance: my friend loves to eat chocolate. For instance, he ate 2 chocolate bars today.
For instance.
E.g. exempli gratia, whatever. This is Latin. I don't know Latin, but this e.g., this contraction is used in written English. So whenever you encounter a text and it says e.g., you just read for example, or you can also say e.g. People just say e.g. But if you want to be 100% correct, or if you want to sound smoother, because e.g. does sound a little like, I don't know, it sounds like it's written. So whenever you're reading a text, you see e.g., that means for example. Such as, this phrase is also used to replace for example, but it has some specific meaning. So basically, such as normally introduces a list of things. Let me give you an example. This summer, I would like to visit some European countries such as France, Italy, and Monaco. So if you have more than one object after such as, you need to separate such as from the rest of a sentence by a comma. So you will have, I want to visit some European countries this summer, comma, such as France, comma, Italy, comma, and Monaco. But if you have only one example, then there is no need to put a comma there. I want to visit some European countries this summer, such as France. That's it, no comma needed.
Such as class reunion.
To give you an idea, we use this phrase to introduce a case or example. You can use this phrase during a presentation because it's kind of like you're a speaker, you're actually presenting. It just implies that. So for example, you're introducing a topic of protecting animals and you say, we need to start protecting wild animals to prevent their extinction. To give you an idea, only 3,900 tigers and 1,860 giant pandas remain in the wild. So to give you an idea is like this presentation where you introduce examples of what you just said. Quick advert here, guys. I watch one Netflix movie per week. I try to, or one Netflix TV show, because it really helps me not only improve my English, but also understand the context. And when I watch those movies, I not only increase my vocabulary and work on my pronunciation, I also have some common topics to discuss with native speakers. I also get more understanding about the American culture. And one of the movies that I can highly recommend is called I Care a Lot. Like, this would help you understand America, first of all, and it's a great movie. Another one I watched, it wasn't on Netflix, it wasn't YouTube Premium, it was Citizen Kane. There's another documentary on Netflix about the admissions scandal when people got fired from universities for taking money. What I mean is there is so much content that would help you improve English, but sometimes I get really frustrated that when I travel, it's not available in that country. Like when I was in Russia, I couldn't watch Netflix, couldn't watch HBO, I couldn't access my bank. But there is a thing called VPN that helps you access different websites, because you can set your location not to a country where you are, but for example to the United States, and then you can access everything. Like, a lot of people ask me how to watch Meghan Markle and Prince Harry interview on CBS. Well guys, install a VPN, go to CBS and watch it for free. The sponsor of this video is Nord VPN, and it's a super fast VPN service that will let you stream, that will let you watch all your favorite movies from a location of your choice. They not only give you access to your favorite entertainment websites, but they also help you stay anonymous. They protect your data if you're surfing on the internet from the airport or from a coffee shop using public Wi-Fi. They don't do any data logging. They have 24/7 customer support. They support up to 6 simultaneous connections, and they have double data encryption for increased anonymity. They have an extension for Chrome, so you just install it and it's there for you. You activate it when you need it, and it's compatible with most operating systems, including Windows, Mac OS, Linux, Android, etc. Because you watch this video, you get a special deal. Every purchase of a 2-year plan will get you an additional 1 month free. Go to nordvpn.com/linguamarina or use code linguamarina to get a 2-year plan plus 1 additional month with a huge discount. There is a 30-day money-back guarantee. So it will cost you only $3.71 a month. Plus, you get an additional month free using my link below. Guys, this is a great offer. If you're struggling to access your favorite movies, go ahead, sign up with NordVPN. The link will be below. Thank you guys from NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Imagine is another phrase that is used to replace for example. So in this case, when you use imagine, you want the person to feel what you're talking about. I love working from home. Imagine spending morning, afternoon, and evening with your baby without having to commute, and then having those 2 or 3 quiet hours in the office, again, without having to commute. Of course, if you have a home office. This imagine just makes the situation more relatable.
Imagine.
A very similar phrase to imagine in terms of what it means is the phrase picture this. Americans use it a lot. So, for example, for instance, you need to know how to perform a CPR. Picture this. Somebody loses consciousness and you don't know what to do. Like this picture this makes a person actually think about the situation when somebody faints in front of them and they don't know what to do. So CPR is like this heart massage, and when you help a person breathe. We did this course. I took like a class before having my first kid. Just a useful skill. I would suggest you guys watch some videos just in case. You know, it never hurts to know that. It's not a very sophisticated technique, but it is something that can save lives. So go ahead and watch some CPR classes. Another way to work on your English, by the way.
Picture this.
Say that. Say that is also used to illustrate a hypothetical situation. It is important to have a first aid kit in your car. Say that you're away from home, something happens, and you don't have anything to help you in an emergency. To name a few, this phrase suggests that you have a lot of examples. Let me give you an example. I've traveled a lot by the age of 25. I went to Brazil, United States, Ukraine, Russia, Italy, France, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, to name a few. So to name a few, that means, you know, you have a list that would continue longer. And also one thing to remember, to name a few would normally be at the end of the sentence, separated by the comma.
To name a few.
To illustrate or as an illustration. If you watch my TOEFL videos, to illustrate is a phrase that I used a lot in my templates, both for writing and speaking, because this is just another way to say, for example, and if you're taking a test, it is really important to replace all of the words because you get additional scores for using different phrases for diversified vocabulary. So there is a speaking task in TOEFL where you would have a text about some particular phenomenon, and then you will have a professor talking about an example of that phenomenon. Like, for example, I don't know, they would have like animals who live in the Arctic, and then a professor would talk about polar bears. And you can say that the article talks about animals who live in the Arctic, and this is the way they survive there. To illustrate the way they survive, the professor uses the example of a polar bear. Or you can also say as an illustration, my sons really get on well. As an illustration, they are 5 years apart, but they always spend time together. To show you what I mean, this is really an informal phrase. And let me give you an example. Thumbnails are really important for a video. To show you what I mean, here are 2 thumbnails. Which one do you think performed better? Consider a situation in which, again, this is a more formal phrase, and this is where you would ask a person to imagine something happening. It is great to prepare meals in advance. Consider a situation in which you get back home late from work and you have nothing to eat. How good it would be to have prepared meals in your fridge. Case in point. This phrase replaces for example and also helps you prove what you mean. Our technology is really one of the best. Case in point, our clients attract 5x more customers.
Case in point.
A very similar phrase to that is as proof. My diet is really effective. As proof, I lost 5 pounds in the past few weeks. And the last but not the least, in particular, is a phrase that helps you emphasize something. I really like my job. In particular, I really like to get feedback from you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video up to the very end. I hope it was useful for you, and I hope it helps you prepare for exams, enhance your vocabulary, and just take a step up in your English. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you very soon in my next videos. Bye bye.